Yes, lovely people. Welcome back to the Sanderson Show. Dracus Duplessis is injured, which puts a halt on the potential eagerly anticipated bout between him and Hamzat Chimaev. And we go through all divisions and look at who are the two or who are the best fights to make in each division. Not necessarily the title fights, but the biggest big money fights to make in each division. Sit back, relax. This is the Sanderson Show. Let's get into it. Yes, everyone, big up to yourselves. Do smash that like button on the road to 7K subscribers as well. So please subscribe if you're new to the channel as well. Big up to Andre in the chat, my Sobo brother, and big up to A9 as well. Right, let's get straight into it. Not here for a long time, but hopefully here for a good time. And we're going to start with the middleweight champion of the world, Dracus Duplessis. The guy has been on an absolute tear and has been collecting a who's of names along the way. His resume is up there as one of the best middleweights currently, and one of the best middleweights to do it in recent memory as well. Shout out to Kyo Knuckles as well. 2 wins over Sean Strickland, a submission win over Israel Adesanya, and a TKO victory over Robert Whittaker, just to name a few. However, it looked as though he was going to be defending his title soon against Hamzat Chimaev, but that doesn't seem to be happening. He currently is injured, and that has put a hold on the middleweight division and the title picture. Now, here's the thing. Dracus Duplessis is as active as the UFC allows him to be. No one can question his fortitude. No one can question his attitude towards being a champion. No one can question him as a fighter. He's bona fide and he's proved it time and time again. However, as champion, you have to ensure that you're going into every fight as close to 100% as possible. Because you know how it goes. You lose your title, it might be a long time before you get another title shot. That being said, we have waited a while for the Hamzat Chimaev fight, and we've waited a while for Hamzat Chimaev to fight for a title. Now, before his last victory against Robert Whittaker, I didn't think that Hamzat should be fighting for the belt because at middleweight, he had only beaten Usman at the time, if I'm not mistaken. Gerald Mershaft, obviously, back in the day, but only Usman. And Usman had come up from 170 pounds on short notice, and there's an argument to say Usman actually won the fight 2 rounds to 1, even though most people had Hamzat winning it. Big up to DB7. That being said, when he went in there and did what he did to Robert Whittaker, I think it became clear that he was the new #1 contender. However, given the state of the division at the moment, with Imavov knocking out Israel Adesanya and being ranked above Hamzat Chimaev, there's an argument to say that Imavov could have potentially got the next title shot. Now, there's been a back and forth with Hamzat and Kai Bahalyo from the Fighting Nerds, who also fights 185 pounds, who's ranked number 6 in the division. They used to train together, or should I say they had trained together in the past, and Hamzat, being Hamzat, trolling, put up a image of him putting a rear naked choke on Kai Bahalyo. This is from years ago. Kai Bahalyo responded saying, look, let's have an interim title match and let's get it done. Big up to Jabber in the chat as well. Now, me personally, if Duplessis is out for a sustained period, I still don't know if I like the idea of an interim bout. Now, and the reason I say that is Duplessis versus Strickland, that fight happened in February. 2 months ago, that fight happened. For me, unless Duplessis has got an injury that stipulates he's going to be out for, let's say, 9 to 12 months, I don't see the need for there to be an interim belt. Personally, I think you're just creating belts and interims for the sake of it. What I would say that does, though, in the meantime, Trust Jamie to say something wild that gets me to to ruin my train of thought. Big up to Jamie and big up to the Jamie Phillips family as well. DDP isn't that Jay, you know he ain't. Big up to Zero said, that's my boy. I'm from South Africa. DDP stronger on the floor game than striking. I think DDP walked Hamza. Bold shout, Zero. Bold shout. Bold shout. But that's one of the reasons why I want to see the fight. Back to what I was saying though. If Duplessis is going to be out for a sustained period, one thing I would love to see, even if there's no title on the line, interim title, I would genuinely love to see Imavov, versus Hamzat Chimaev. An outright number one contenders bout. And I know people say, yeah, but Hamzat beat Whitaker. Yeah, he did. But Hamzat's ranked third. Imavov beat Israel Adesanya. Imavov is ranked first in the division. I think for me, that is what should happen. I think you go down that route. If Duplessis is injured, you go, right, Hamzat versus Imavov. You have an outright title contender. That way, both men fight. Both men stay active. And when Duplessis is ready, he has a clear number one contender. Shout out to Nadir in the chat. Big up yourself, Nadir. You crut says Hamzat's not taking any fight. He's Dana's boy. I'm gonna be real. Say what you want about Hamzat. I don't see Hamzat turning a fight down. I think Hamzat believes in himself so much that he would take that fight against Imavov. And let's be real, guys. Imavov is a striker. We've seen what Hamzat does to strikers. He takes them down, he drags them into deep waters, and he stops them. I don't think Hamzat would fear fighting Imavov at all. In fact, I think he'd welcome that fight. And if he goes out there and he destroys Imavov, we're all sitting here as UFC fight fans going, it's not even a debate anymore. So let me know what you guys think about that. If Duplessis is out for a sustained period, do let me know. Shout out to the Rare Thinker. I do watch the prelims, but often don't do prelims as a watch along. And I have two reasons for that. The first reason is I've got a young family. I've got a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old. So getting sleep at the best of times is very difficult. And if I don't get any sleep before an event, I literally will just crash, as I have numerous times asked Jamie and Luke, who keep me awake. Pause. And also, who do I think wins out of Derrida and Bo Nickel? Honestly, I might go Derrida. The Rare thing, I hate coffee, bro. I hate coffee. Look, I'm on the water at the moment. I'm trying to actually do the whole healthy thing. I might actually document my my fitness journey and health journey on this channel as well. So look out for that as well, people. You think Nickel wins by KO? I don't, you know. I think Derrida wins by submission. But I quite look forward to watching that match. Right. Let's move on to the next thing now. MMA Monday Live, people, and we're going to go through each division and we're going to see which is the biggest fight to make in each division. Not necessarily a championship fight, but the biggest fight in each division. So hopefully you guys can see that. Got the rankings up here. So I'm going to start with the men's flyweight division. I think the big money fight in this division, if I'm going to be honest, is probably Moreno and Pantoja still. Moreno put on a great performance in his last fight against Urseg, and Pantoja's proven time and time again he is that guy. I think I'd go Pantoja and Moreno for the men's flyweight division. For the men's bantamweight division, I think the big money fight in that division is probably the fight that's happening for the belt, and probably hence why it's happening, and that is Merab versus O'Malley. If you'd said to me a year ago what was the big money fight, you'd probably go down the route of O'Malley and Sanhagen, but Merab has become a massive star overnight. And look, I think maybe them two. For the men's featherweight division, it's annoying because Max and Topuria have moved up to 55. Marie saying, what about Umar? I don't know if Umar's a big money fight at the moment. I got to be honest. I think we need to see like I think we need to see a big win for Umar in. Let me rephrase that because a big win was Sanhagen. I think we need to see him bounce back from his loss and then go from there. But Umar, look, Umar's legit, in it. Like, there's no two ways about it. Umar's legit. Shout out to Skits. I will be going on Monty's show. I'll be there at midnight. Don't you worry. I won't keep the gang waiting. Shout out to Dom as well in the chat. I doubt Dana would want to rush Hamzat to the title. There's a lot of fighters in the top 10 Hamzat hasn't faced in that division. That's true as well. That is true as well. Big money fight at featherweight. Ooh, it's definitely Volk. In fact, given what happened at the press conference, if you were to book Yair Rodriguez versus Diego Lopez in Mexico, I think that might be the biggest fight that you could make in that division at the moment. Remember, this isn't the best fight you can make in each division. It's the biggest money fight or the biggest fight in terms of coverage and fanfare. I think it's Diego Lopez and Yair Rodriguez, especially off the back of that press conference, the history or the beef that they seem to have, as well as them both being from that region of the world. Yeah, I think that's the fight at featherweight. At 55, it's the fight we all want to see, right? It is Ilia Topuria challenging the one, the only Islam Makhachev. Look, I get where Makhachev's coming from. He doesn't want to fight someone who's just come up from 45 because he's done that with Volkanovski and didn't necessarily get the credit he fully deserved with that. Toporia's moved up, though. He's vacated a belt. He's got to get that title shot, man. He has to, or else you're setting a bad precedent for the other athletes in other divisions who want to move up and don't want to relinquish the belt. You got to make that fight, man. You got to. At welterweight, I think the biggest fight you can make at welterweight. This is a tricky one, actually. I'm gonna go left field here. I'm gonna say Usman and Ian Gary. I think Usman versus Ian Gary is potentially the biggest fight you can make at welterweight. I think Ian Gary talks the talk, and say what you want about Ian Gary, say what you want about his personal life. The guy shows up and fights. The guy shows up and saves cards. Like, he's that guy. Say what you want about him. You might not like Ian Gary, but you have to bloody respect the man. You have to respect him at this point. Have to respect him. Took Shavkat fight at short notice. He's just taken the Prates fight at short notice. He could sit on his ranking like other welterweights do, but he says, "Nah, I'm here to fight, and I'm going to fight." I rate Ian Gary. And for me, Ian Gary versus Usman, the back and forth that would happen before the fight, the wrestler versus striker debate, I think that's the biggest fight in that division personally. At middleweight, I think we've just already spoken about it's Hamzat versus is it actually Hamzat versus Duplessis? In terms of biggest fight, it's probably Hamzat and Adesanya. Now, granted, I think we know the result of that currently with the trajectory of both fighters. Israel's kind of on a downward trajectory. Hamzat's on an upward trajectory. But in terms of two biggest names in the division, I mean, Adesanya and Hamzat, that's the biggest fight welterweight. Big up to Don Hassam. How long you going for, Cal? If you're going long, I can redirect you. I'm not going to be here much longer, bro. Maybe another 5-10 minutes, bro. But I appreciate the sentiment. Guys, make sure you go and subscribe to Don Hassam's channel. Me, Matt, Tom Little will be on his channel tomorrow at 1:30 UK time. That's our brother. Big up Don Hassam. I'm actually going to be on Monty's channel straight after this one. So make sure you follow me over to Big Six Bants as well, guys. Big up Zakir, work rate is crazy. I respect it. Yeah, I'm gonna be real. I always say this, I'm not the most talented person in the game, but I will try and outwork everyone if I can. So yeah, I'll try and make up for my lack of talent or the lack of talent I have compared to other content creators by just working harder than my competitors, even though they are friends as well. My guy, see, I always support you, Cal. Nah, it's always love, Hassan, bro. You know the support is two ways, brother. Always love, bro. Appreciate you. If you haven't already, guys, please do smash that like button. Big up to Cringe Gov as well in the building. Always supporting the channel as well. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Right, back to the rankings. At light heavyweight. All right, so light heavyweight straight away, it involves Alex Pereira. I'm gonna go Alex. It's probably Alex and Yuri still. They're the two most popular fighters in the light heavyweight division. I think it's Alex and Yuri. Potentially Alex and Ankalaev, given that it's going to be a rematch, though. That could be a shout as well, to be fair. At heavyweight, it's obvious. Jones Aspinall. I mean, me, Jamie, and Luke have spoken at length about those for weeks and months now, so I don't want to bore you with that, but I think everyone knows that's the biggest fight to make at heavyweight. Women's strawweight division, sorry. I'm gonna say this. I think the biggest fight you could make is probably Yan Xiaonan versus Wei Li in China this time, though, or Wei Li versus Mackenzie Dern. Mackenzie Dern's extremely popular outside of the octagon. She's on a winning streak at the moment. Again, not the best, but the biggest. I think it could be Mackenzie Dern versus Wei Li, and we've never seen Mackenzie fight Wei Li or fight for the belt either. At flyweight, it's probably Rose Namajunas and Valentina. Rose is still the biggest name in that division, apart from Valentina, in my opinion. Grasso's a brilliant fighter. Thea Rose, the next title challenger. Blanchfield is brilliant. But I actually think Rose has got the biggest name in that division. So I think it would be Rose versus Valentina for the belt. That would be the biggest fight. And at bantamweight, I think the biggest fight is obviously the fight that's been made, and that is Kayla Harrison versus Juliana Pena. So that is it, guys. Let me know in the comments what you think. Who would be the biggest fight in each division? Let me know if there's any you disagree with in the comment section. Look, people, we'll be back tomorrow night with Combat Catch Up Live with Jamie and Luke. We'll be speaking about the fight card coming up at the weekend with Ian Gary and Prates headlining. Also going to be speaking about Evloev's quote that he's going to break Alexander Volkanovski, and the big fight in boxing between Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn as well. People, remember, I'm going to be going straight onto Monty's channel now on Big Six Bounce, so make sure you join me over there. Big up to each and every one of you on the road to 7,000 subscribers. Please do smash that like button if you haven't. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, and please share this with your friends and family if they're into MMA and combat sports. My name is Callum, people. This has been the Sanderson Show. Man, how you go. Take care, everyone.